Did you get a scoliosis diagnosis and you feel like you're just staring at a bunch of confusing terms? Now, if you are feeling like this, don't worry, you're not alone. And in this video, I will break down all of those confusing terms so that you can stop feeling overwhelmed and can start to feel confident in your body and can get started with exercise. So the first thing we need to understand are the different sections of the spine and just the different terms that are used to kind of label those different sections. So here in this model spine, it's all kindly in different colors, so it's a little bit easier to understand and to visualize. This part here is obviously the neck, and that's the cervical spine here, cervical vertebrae. We've got 7 of those. Then we've got 12 of those thoracic vertebrae, so that's kind of your upper back. Then you've got your lower back, 5 of the lumbar vertebrae, and then you've got your sacrum and your tailbone here in orange. So when it comes to scoliosis, it's usually mentioned in which part of the spine your scoliosis is and which direction it goes to. So for example, if you have a thoracic scoliosis, the biggest part of the curve would be here in this blue section. If you have a lumbar curvature, the biggest part would be here in that green section. Now we also have something called a thoracolumbar curve, which means the biggest part of the curve is kind of here in this section, the top of the lumbar and the bottom of the thoracic spine here. So just to be able to visualize where the curvature is. Then the next thing that is usually mentioned is the direction of the curve. So which way does the curve go? And usually, well, most of the time, it's just left and right. So somebody might have said it's a right thoracic curve. That would be nice and easy. In medical terms, sometimes they use the words dextro or levoscoliosis. So dextro means it's going to the right and levo means it's going to the left. Now, generally, scoliosis comes in kind of 2 major shapes. Now, this is highly simplified, but it is really useful for us to know if it is more of a S-shaped scoliosis, so meaning it's curved like an S, or if you're looking from the back, it will be more curved like a reverse S, because that's the most common pattern, or a C-shaped scoliosis, which basically just means there will be one major curvature, either going to the right or to the left. One thing that is important to know when it comes to left and right and the direction that your curve is going towards, it is usually labeled looking at the back. So looking at somebody's back, if it's called a right thoracic curvature, you look at somebody's back and the curve would be going towards the right in the upper back. Now this can be a little bit confusing when you look at your X-ray, which is very often taken from the front. So this is just something to consider. And in order to understand what exactly is going on, there will be a little R for right or a little L for left on your X-ray so that you understand what side it is that they're talking about. So why is this important for you to know? Well, scoliosis is a condition that requires long-term management, and especially if you are suffering from pain, it's a very good idea to get a really good understanding of your curvature so that you can learn how to help yourself. Now you can download this free workbook here where I take you through some different steps to understand your individual curve a little bit better. And don't worry, you really do not need to have a medical degree to understand your individual scoliosis pattern. It can be so useful to understand your posture and to understand what it is that you need to do in your case with your individual curve. So now that you understand the basics of your scoliosis diagnosis, let's have a look what is actually happening in your spine. And knowing the difference between your convex side and your concave side is really important when it comes to your movement practice. So make sure to check out this next video right now.